I'm just talking to Gail about these.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 of our varsity doubleheader. This second game has our Telstar Rebels squaring off against the Islesboro Eagles. And now for your starting lineups. For those Eagles, we'll start with sophomore number 24, Mason Randolph. Junior number 14, Lewis Outerbridge. Freshman number 10, Finley Conover. Junior number 5, Luke Neve. And sophomore number 12, Jacob Zolman. And now's the time to get a little loud for your Rebels. Starting them off with senior number 4, Brody Morgan. Senior number 00, Brady Kellogg. Senior number 1, Riley Hedden. Junior number 23, Jonathan Marshall. And junior number 2, Carter Play. Ladies and gentlemen, if I get you to rise and remove your headgear for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, good evening and welcome to tonight's second game of the doubleheader between the Islesboro Eagles and the Telstar Rebels. We are live here on Western Hills Access Television Channel 11 and YouTube. I am Danny Whitney. I'm joined this game by Coach Mark Thurlow. We got Brooks Morton on the camera, Josh Morton behind the scenes, Joel Clark on the camera as well. Mark, nice to have you. How you been?
Oh, pretty well. Thanks for asking. Sorry to fill in like this, but...
Mark had to fill in last second for Mark Kenny, who's at home dealing with a family emergency. So thanks to Mark Thurlow for filling in. So the Rebels are going to start with Grady Kellogg, Riley Hedden, Connor Dupre, Brody Morgan, and Johnny Marshall. And the Eagles have Luke Neve, Lewis Outerbridge, Jacob Zolman, Mason Randlett, and Finley Conover. No seniors for the Eagles. So they're a young team. A couple of quick shots by the Eagles. Kellogg with the rebound. Pitches ahead to Dupre. Mark, what are you looking to see out of the Rebels tonight?
Oh, be patient. Take the ball. They're a lot bigger than this team. That's for sure. There you go. They are so much better when they attack the basket.
Yeah, the game's changed a lot since I played for you.
Yeah, no, it has. I understand the theory of the three-point and all that, but I was telling somebody this is a good free throw shooting team, so they really need to attack the basket.
Yeah.
They get to the line. This might be one of the better free throw shooting teams Telstar's had.
Yeah, we got the ball has disappeared under the bleachers there, so we're tracking that down. But yeah, Brody's able to pretty much get to the hoop whenever he wants, it seems like.
Yeah. I do like having the two bigs together, Jonathan and Grady. Playing the two bigger kids together some, but I mean, the bench has really been a big plus for this team this year. I don't think Coach Kimball thought he was going to be as deep as they are. They are deep.
Looks like the Eagles are starting in a man-to-man. Rebels are going to start in the full court.
That full court press, yeah.
They've been doing that pretty much nightly for the last week or two.
Yeah, they're getting the rotations down really well with this. Like, the guys Grady stepping up. Yep, good.
So each game we look for a defensive player of the game. And so far, Dupre has the most. He has probably 3/4 of them, and then Brody's got the others.
Yep.
So
Travel.
Be good to see the Rebels have somebody else step up and win it, but Connor's just so steady when it comes to defense.
And he usually takes the opponent's best player too. He does a good job on him. And he wants to guard him. That's the best part about it.
Yeah. And then we've also seen, like, in a night like tonight, again, Johnny Marshall's having to guard somebody smaller but quicker than him.
Yeah, but he's doing okay with it.
He has.
Sometimes he'll get caught on, off the dribble. He'll gets a little screwed up, but most of the time he's done really well.
So the Rebels off to a fast start here, up 4-0. Eagles use their first timeout of the game.
You got 8 kids too.
Yeah, small team.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like they're running with 7 players.
I don't know how many kids go there.
I don't think it's very big.
No,
I don't know. I don't know the exact count, but this is a little different schedule than when you were coaching Telstar.
Oh yeah. Although when I coached at Buckfield a couple of years ago, I had to go to the islands. It was kind of fun.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh, this East-West Conference is a plus for Telstar.
Yeah. A little more travel, but better competition for them.
Yeah. More. They can creates them to be more competitive.
Yeah.
And the Mount Valley Conference has changed in the last 3 or 4 years. That's backcourt. Ooh, almost.
Close. His heel almost got it.
Yeah, like right now. You're right. Jonathan's on a guard. There you go. Good job, Grady. Oh, that was.
That's a good take.
Yeah, I like that. Him and Grady and Jonathan have been more aggressive in the post in the second half of the season.
Yeah, one thing we've noticed with Johnny especially, he's very productive when he goes straight up to the basket.
Yes.
When he falls, that's when he starts to miss.
Yeah.
Is that pretty typical for most players?
Yeah, I mean, he squares himself up and he's tough. It's like with anything, he's balanced. With any sport, as long as he's balanced and squares his shoulders to the basket, he's pretty tough. But when he's playing off one leg sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we've noticed. Sometimes he gets towards the top of the key and get a little unbalanced.
Yeah, he does. He gets.
They'll get him with a bump
that's
there.
incidental.
The Eagle ball on the sideline.
123.
I think you came in and did you work with Coach Kimball and the Rebels on a 1-3-1?
Yeah, we worked on the 1-3-1 a little. They've been using it off and on.
Is that something you think they'll keep in their back pocket for the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
See them use it?
Yeah, I think they may use it next week a little bit. I don't know if he'll use it today or not. Probably won't need to.
Yeah.
I think he's saving it to start the second half of a playoff game or something like that for a little surprise. It didn't take them long as a group to figure it out. Grady, go it up.
Rebels will get to the line.
I think sometimes he passes the ball out too quick.
Yeah.
I think Grady needs to rebound, square himself up like Jonathan's been doing, and shoot. So I think that'll be the results. He'll be fouled.
Yeah, early on, it seems like the Rebels can have their way underneath.
They should in this game. You still want to get away from fundamentals. They still want to box out.
Wow. That one was 3/4 of the way
That
down.
was weird. Oh, nice touch.
Makes the second of 2. Rebels stay in that man-to-man press. Mark, what's the key to, if you're the Eagles, what's the key to breaking that man-to-man press?
They can't use the dribble. They should use, they could set some screens, but not in the backcourt, like at half court. And need to keep the ball in the middle. Keep it off the sidelines. When they get on the sidelines, well, they're going to get trapped. See, sooner or later, they're going to pick his pocket. That kid's dribbling way too much. Ball movement, quick passes, quick and short. Connor will have his way with this kid. Good job, Grady.
Yeah, Grady's in a similar boat to Johnny today.
Yeah.
He's got
Which
a
is
smaller
not,
man.
that'll hurt. You get the trap on the sideline.
Good help.
Oh, good. Connor got down and helped him out right there, helped Grady out. See, I kept telling you, Ryan feels like Coach Kimball feels like they're getting their rotations down really well. That's a good rebound. He boxed out. Connor did.
Is Hedden for 3. Hedden had a cold start on Wednesday, but heated up at the second half.
Yes, he did. I wonder if he's still down a little bit from having the flu,
Yeah.
strength-wise.
Inside to Marshall, back to Dupre. That's a good shot.
Yeah, I like that.
And we've commented that it seems like the Rebels get their best looks when they work it in and out, in and out.
Yeah, go inside, back out to the outside. Oh, see, he's going to get trapped. Oh, right, that's Connor waited just a little bit too long. Yeah, down this, and Brody with the help. I think if they let him go, that kid would have dribbled out of bounds.
Yeah. We're going to see our first subs of the game for the Rebels. They're going to sub in for both the bigs. Cooper Morgan and Reggie Billings checking in for Johnny and Grady. So the Rebels going with a small lineup here.
This small lineup has produced pretty well in this little streak they've been on.
Yeah, and we've been saying that Cooper's not the most athletic kid out there, but he seems like he knows where to be.
Cooper, the other night, he had 19 points against Richmond in the second half. And he got them because he'd start out in the corner. Just before the three-point line, they'd break the press, he would step in. And he was available all the time in that second half against Richmond. He'd come up big. He had 19 points in that game.
Yeah, all in the second half.
Yeah.
Like you said, and most
Outscored
of
his
them,
brother.
Yeah, and I think we counted an elite block there by Billings. At least 14 of them came at the block, just on that play you're talking about.
Inside the three-point line, he would be. You watch him, they get the ball in the middle, and they turn, he'd be standing going towards the basket, and that's where you want him getting them. But Jonathan made some nice passes to him, too. And Grady and Jonathan, and his brother fed him a couple times. Brody hit him with a couple give and goes.
Here he is with the ball,
Get
looking
it
to
in the
push. Good look there.
Nice look. Make that. Boy, they got to get a body on him. He's going to score 30 points just on rebounds.
He's got 6 already.
Yeah, Brody will have a big night. Oh,
good block there. Billings, though, right there to clean it up.
Yeah. I like that. There's good no call there. I think kid went up straight. Yeah, you need him.
Yeah, coach is going to use another one. Rebels off to a quick start here, 16-0.
Pitching a shutout.
What do you think the Eagles coach messages to the team right now?
He's drawing up something. I can't really tell, but I think he's talking about the press more than anything.
Yeah. And during this timeout, if we can get Brooks to scan up to the sponsors, we want to do a quick shout out to them, Mark. I don't know if you're aware, but all the sponsors up there, all that money goes directly to the boosters.
Yeah, I like that.
help support all the athletic programs.
Actually, Jonah, my son was asking whether they had them made. They really are nice.
Yeah, Perfect Stitch made them.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Any businesses that are interested in joining, just send an email to cleancutpaintingcompany@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up. Well, actually, Kara, your daughter, will get them set up.
Well, and I got to hit my old workplace up. Norway Savings ought to have one up there.
We're working on them.
Well,
so
shouldn't have to work on them too much. You ought to have one up there.
Yeah.
I'll stop down to the main office and have a little chat.
That would do it.
Maybe not. Is Northeast up there?
No, not yet.
Okay, so if we're getting Norway Savings, we can get Northeast.
That's right. We got Franklin already, so.
We don't even have a bank in town, do they?
No.
Well, let's straighten that out. Nice job, Connor. Yep.
So speaking of Connor, we do have his family listening up in the county. They had to be up there for a family event, but shout out to all the Dupreys listening up on the Canadian border.
Yeah, they're going to go inside to Brody, and they're going to come right back. Nope.
Heading back to Dupre.
Make that one extra pass. Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah. He was in the right spot. He just didn't move enough.
If they attack that zone from behind, what I mean by that, the zone's going to turn their back on anything opposite the ball. The defenders are. We can walk right in behind them.
There's that pickpocket you were talking about.
Yeah, he is.
Number 13 for the Rebels, Elliot Norton's going to check in.
Yeah, Elliot had a good night the other night on senior. He had, 12 points?
Yep.
That was huge. That was a good way for him to. He's helped coming off the bench, give him a little spark.
Yep. Good steal there by Billings. The Rebels have numbers.
He is some quick.
Yeah, and he doesn't look quick either.
No, he don't.
He's deceptively quick.
Yeah. Should have had that right hand on the ball and guided up. He put it up too high.
So the Rebels still pitching that shutout.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. Yes, they are. Got the trap, don't reach. That's the one thing they do when they get a trap, they reach in that trap. Don't worry about it. Somebody will steal that pass.
Yeah, so what is the goal off of a trap? Where are you trying to get the turnover?
Well, the next available pass should be, you should be able to see who to pass to if you set a good enough trap. And all your defenders watch the passer's eyes. Nobody makes any no-look passes in this league.
So a trap is designed to essentially create a pass that gets stolen.
That gets stolen, yeah. They should be able to do it. But the trouble is sometimes the kids get reaching in it, which they get a foul. There you go, Cooper. Good job.
Good job attacking there. Brother's right there to clean it up.
He'll probably tell his brother that was a pass at supper tonight.
Yeah.
Cooper say, you see that pass? I made it. All right, how to pay attention, Cooper. Good job.
Yeah, Eagles looking a little overmatched here early on. Brody over to Cooper. Let's shoot the three.
Yep, good job, Cooper.
He's only a sophomore. So
yeah, he's really come on after Christmas, I thought. He had that little spell where he wasn't sure, he wasn't confident. You know, thought he ought to be playing JVs, I guess. I don't know, but I had a little chat. They're not very far from my house, and they're cousins, so geez, they said, you ought to be playing a little more.
Yeah. That'll bounce off the strap there. Be Rebel ball underneath. 21-0 here. 40 seconds to go in the first.
It's kind of cool that watching Cooper and Brody play for me, because I had Caesar at 5 then. It was my first tournament team.
Yeah.
Caesar was a senior. They got their own hoop at home too. Well, actually, a little court, small mini court. They're always out there playing.
Yeah, well, it shows.
A lot of the kids too. I mean, this group. Grady's been up there. I think Jonathan's been there. Yeah, Reggie.
Isn't that
was good defense by mistake.
Isn't that the difference between a good team and a really good team?
Yeah.
Is home, what you do at home.
Yeah, these guys have played a lot though. I mean, Riley's dad took him for AAU ball all year long last March. Ryan took him. They went to a team camp.
And I didn't see who got that last bucket for the Rebels, but did you happen to catch that?
No, I don't know. Who did get that one?
Might have been Billings. I'm going to give it to him for now, but I'll put an asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
So after the first quarter, the Rebels still pitching that shutout, 23-0.
think everybody's going to see a lot of playing time tonight.
Yeah, I'd expect to see the bench start to get some minutes, but
Too bad. Dakota's having some trouble with the groin. He had a little knee trouble, and he's out now with some.
yeah, and he came off of the Richmond game. That was probably his best game.
Yeah, and he's been giving him a spark defensively, you know. Yeah, this might be a chance for Coach Kimball to try some different lineups. He'll probably stay with the same thing. I don't think he'll experiment too much.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that the Rebels need to win out to try to maintain that 2 seed.
Yes, I think if they win all 3 games they got left, this one, when they got Carrabeck away and then Vinalhaven away,
Yep.
no matter what St. Dom's does, I still think the Rebels will wind up the number 2 seed going into the Southern Maine Class D tournament.
What's the advantage to being a higher seed heading into that?
Play a weaker team, you know. This would be the highest seed in Telstar's ever had.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember what they were last year? They were 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Alec had a team one year that I think they were the 5th seed. Larry Durgan had a team that was the 4th seed. And I do think if they finish 2nd or 3rd, they'll be the highest seed in Telstar's ever had.
Yeah. Brody with a little jumper there, doesn't go. Travel there by the
Did he?
Eagles. I didn't see it.
I didn't see that, but I don't like to complain about officials.
No, I've never seen you get a tee or anything.
No. I won't get kicked out of a gym like some people do in the state. But
Brody with a 3. So he's in double figures now for the Rebels. Rebels back off that full court.
Brody's looking to guide somebody. Well, he found somebody.
$26-0 here, Rebels. Little jumper there, doesn't go.
Oh, come on.
Brody with the rebound.
Wow, that's a mismatch there. That
Yeah.
number 2 from Islesboro, Brody.
We'll see if he.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
You better not be guarding him.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're in that zone. Yeah, that
They're in a
2-3 zone.
2-3.
Yeah, they'll attack that. Cooper's going to get called for 3 if he don't stop standing there. Somebody's got a flash metal right here. Here he comes. I don't want him to settle. Yeah, 3 seconds.
That's got to be frustrating if you're coach. So
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, in a game like this where the outcome seems to be in hand here, what does Coach Kimball want to see out of the guys with a big game coming on Monday?
Execute. You know, like right there, that ain't good. Get a 3-second call, make that extra pass. This is a good chance to work on your zone. And they're on your zone offense. Get the ball in the middle. They did a real good job against Carrabeck and Richmond with that. They attacked the zone very well. I don't want to be the defender that gets up to the first hoop either.
Yeah.
Your teammates are going to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't been in this situation very much. I mean, you got your group a couple times we did in the year before. We had some lopsided scores, but
Unfortunately, we've been on the other end of it more often.
yeah, that's right. Oh, I think Ryan wants his kids to box out, you know, really play fundamentally sound.
Yeah. There's Brody for 2.
Yeah, Brody for 2 more. I don't think Brody's going to see much playing time after this quarter.
Yeah.
Gage going to come in good.
Yeah, going to get Gage.
Bring a couple of bigs back. Gage had 54 points here tonight, they said, in the JV game.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Cooper on the fast break?
Oh, just stun that one in.
Snuck it over.
Attaboy, Coop.
$30-0 Rebels on top. They're going to get some subs in here.
I've kept up pretty well with Eastgate scoring so far on the scoring sheet.
Yeah, you haven't missed one yet.
No, I haven't. I got to get my pen ready.
Oh, I thought that one might go. Dupre with the ball. Skips it ahead to Cooper. Down to Brody. Nice pass. That was good ball.
I like that. Extra pass.
Yeah. 5 minutes to play here in the second. Rebels having their way with the Eagles.
I think they've been making that extra pass pretty well the last 3 or 4 games. Oh, nice switch right there. That's why Connor's the best defender they got. He just, you know, I mean, they're all playing pretty good defense, but.
Yeah. There's Brody again.
Yeah, find the hot man. Yep.
Yeah, Brody with a big game against Karabak, I think.
Karabak, yeah.
27.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many of these kids might make the McDonald's All-Star team. I think Riley and Brody have been nominated. We'll see what the other coaches around the state think.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of nice to at least one of them get in there. I was lucky enough to have 2 or 3 kids get in there. It was kind of fun. A fun weekend.
Yeah.
For a good cause. Oh, he's going to try to shoot it before he got it.
He'll fight for it.
All right.
So the Rebels are going to get Gage Berry, Johnny Marshall, and Seth.
Yeah.
Seth Dupuy into the game. Billings, Cooper Morgan, and Elliot Norton checking out. Dupre and Brody stay on, and Marshall was a starter too. So the Rebels with 3 starters still. About halfway through the second.
I like the idea the Rebels are still playing defense. I don't let up a bit. You know, I'm sorry. I know they haven't scored, but keep playing good D. Whether you come off the bench or you're a starter or coming off the bench, just keep playing good defense.
Yeah, and in games like this, if you're the coach on the winning side, there's some things you can do offensively to let up, but you don't let up. You don't tell the guys to stop playing defense.
No, you don't tell them to stop playing. You know, that's right. Just keep playing good defense.
That's Alex Doherty checking in for Brody. We saw him with a big game.
Yeah, he had
early
like
in the
10
season.
points, right? Against somebody. Who was that against? Come off the bench and was just firing away.
Yeah, I want to say it might have been Buckfield, somebody like that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty close game. And there he is.
There he is. Didn't take it. Oh, see, I think Jonathan Ketch go right back up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, right now there's nobody on the court that can guard him.
No.
So
He needs to get on the glass right there. Don't reach, Gage.
Rebels still in that man-to-man D. That's a 3 there. So they're 3.5 minutes here from shutting him out for the first half.
He's got a tip. Yeah. Somebody tipped that. That's a good call. All the starters are off the floor now. Well, no, Jonathan's still on the floor. That's right. Yeah.
See if the Rebels can keep up
the first time we've seen this lineup all year, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, Gage, you got to stop reaching, son. Move your feet, Gage.
Yeah, Gage is a junior, I think.
Yeah.
So he'll probably have a role on the varsity team next year.
I would imagine he would. With losing Grady, he'll step into that.
That's probably why Coach is trying to get him some minutes.
Yeah, give him some experience.
Good D there by Doherty. And Doherty, too. I expect to see him with a bigger role.
What a nice pass from Doherty.
Yeah.
They've been getting out and running the lanes pretty well, which is nice. Instead of clogging everything up, running side by side, 15 feet apart, 12, and just making that extra pass, bounce pass especially.
3-pointer there.
Good hustle, Gage. Hustle over and get a rebound.
I'd love to see the Rebels shut him out, but I'm also kind of rooting for one of these.
Me too. Yeah, here we are. Oh. Well, that brought the Islesboro fans to their feet on that steal.
Yeah, mostly the girls' team in the crowd, but they have a few parents that made the trip. Talking to Mark Kenny earlier, and for any parents from there coming, it's pretty much a whole day affair.
Oh yeah, must be 2.5 hours back to Rockland to get on the ferry, right?
That's what Mark was saying. Yeah.
I did that with Buckfield. What a great experience. We went to Vinyl Haven. I had a lot of fun.
They have a good school, nice school.
No, Vinyl Haven. I didn't go to Islesboro.
Okay. Gage fighting for it. They're letting him play a little bit.
Yeah.
That's Doherty.
Which is not a bad thing. They've only called 3 fouls, right? In the whole game. And it hasn't been sloppy with that on that end.
What do you think of the new 1-and-1 rule?
I don't like it.
No.
But I guess they're doing it all over the country, 5 fouls. But I just wonder. I like the 1-and-1 and shooting 2 after 10.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's cleaned the game up any.
I guess the idea was that it would speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they said. I don't know if it has. I thought it made it more competitive. I mean, it puts the coaches in the spot. When do I start fouling? There it is. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I was maybe here. Grab it, Gage, good. Gage got rid of it quickly.
Norton looking to push. Rebels set up into the half-court offense. Oh, nice.
Oh, what a nice move by
Left
Guard.
hand.
What a nice little move.
Yeah.
I know we shut some teams out in a quarter before, but not for a half.
I don't remember ever a half.
Well, one year we beat Carabec like 88-12, but yeah, I think we shut them out in 1 or 2 quarters, but nothing like this. And Winthrop one year over there, we slapped them around pretty hard. Then they got back at us. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. Dupuis inbounds to Marshall. Back to Dupuis. He'll shoot it. And Islesboro has some decent athletes.
They do. Yeah, he's going to call it offensive because he put the shoulder down.
Lower the shoulder a little bit. And that's also a new rule where the defender doesn't have to be set anymore, right?
No, yeah. And then they said if you're faking them, there's going to be some technicals handed out. Early in the year, I know Monmouth and I think it was Monmouth and Maranacook at a game. There was like 6 technicals, and some of them involved the faking of offensive fouls.
Minute and a half to play here in the first half. Rebels on top.
Still playing good defense. Here we go. They're going to charge and take the trap. And you got something Ryan's got him doing. If the dribbler's got his back to that opposite wing, defensively, he's going to go over and set that trap. You don't see him coming. It's a read and react thing. Yeah, a white ball.
One thing I noticed, even on the inbounds, they typically stay man.
Yeah.
I know when I was playing, we would use the zone a lot.
But no, and they've done a good job with that.
But that's a tough thing to do.
It is. I was always didn't want to give up anything inside, but this Rebels team does. They do a very good job on the inbounds. Inbound defense is fantastic. That kid's going to score.
There it is.
Okay.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Finley Conover. He's a freshman, so that's good news for the Islesboro. Dupuis.
Oh, wow.
Over the backboard.
Little Larry Bird, huh? Man, that's great.
Yeah, the floater from the baseline.
And he was down behind the backboard.
Yeah, Larry Bird for you, Kobe Bryant for me. He did that a couple times.
Yeah, man, that was something.
Gage chases down the loose ball. The first game, Mark and I were talking about a shot clock. What do you think about that?
See, Michael brought that up to me, and I don't. If they do it, I hope it's like a 35 or a 40, second one. Some people think that's going to improve the game. I think with the skill level, it's going to have to improve a lot.
Yeah. I just like to see it for...
Yeah.
Just so you can't go into that stall. I mean, Mountain Valley used to do that to us a lot.
Yes, yeah. And Jay used to do it a lot. I remember back in the Kinsey Durgan's teams, and they would be playing Jay, and Jay would go into a stall in the first half.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, that's crazy. I mean, they'd be up 5 or 6, and they'd stall for, a couple minutes just for halftime.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I think that's where the 1-on-1 comes in.
Yeah.
I go back to that. But then you wouldn't need that if you did have a shot clock. Maybe it would make people improve more and get the ball up the floor,
Yeah.
That's good, D. Wow.
So at the half, all Rebels, 39-2, Rebels on top. We're live here on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube. We'll be back for the second half versus the Islesboro Eagles in about 10 minutes.
Wow, what do you say?
All right, welcome back here to the second half. Islesboro Eagles versus the Telstar Rebels. Big shout out again to Mark Thurlow for joining me for the first half. Mark Kenny for the first game, but we're glad to welcome Andy back to the booth. Andy, how are you doing this afternoon?
Not too bad. I tuned into some of your games.
Coach Thurlow was invited to stay, but he's making his way down. His quote was that he didn't break any FCC guidelines for a half, so he should probably call it there. So
It's a miracle that we haven't broken any, but here we are.
So Andy, and you said you caught a little bit of the game, but first off, we're live here on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11 and YouTube. And Andy, the first half, as you can see by the scoreboard, was all Rebels.
Yeah, the Rebels looks like they're starting here with their starting five, so probably just to keep them in the flow of things. I wouldn't expect to see them out there a long time.
Yeah, Brody's pretty much been able to do what he wants at the hoop. Good D there by Dupre. Dupre's the leader for the defensive player of the game again tonight.
So I was listening to the games. I wasn't able to watch most of them because I was on the road, but it sounds like Islesboro had a few opportunities, but they just couldn't get a couple simple ones to fall. Or...
Yeah, they didn't make any shots, obviously, and they had looks. They're a young team. They don't have any seniors on the floor. We noticed one player with a boot on. We're thinking that might be one of their seniors and probably one of their better players. It looks like he's hurt. We say that because Islesboro has 5 wins on the year.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're not a horrible team. So they might be dealing with some injuries. Just heading for 3.
It's a nice looking shot. You certainly know he can make those.
Yeah, that's his first of the game, though. His first bucket of the game, actually.
It looked like Coach Kimball had quite a few of the bench players in at the end of the.
Yeah, the end of the second half, you got a lot of subs in. Saw Gage Berry get a few minutes, and Coach Thurlow was saying that he had heard that Gage scored 54 points in a JV game recently.
Yeah, I think that was Wednesday night, if I recall, before we got here, I think.
I didn't hear
one
that.
Of those triple headers.
You know, just no matter what level you're at, 54 points is an accomplishment.
Yeah, and actually, Buckfield, the boys team, they had a player score 49 points earlier in the week.
Wow.
At the varsity level, 13 threes is what he made. To look that name up, I think it was.
So the Rebels on top here, 42-2. This is the final home game for the Rebels. They play away Monday at Carabec, and then either Tuesday or Wednesday they go to Vinyl Haven for the final game of the year. Rebels need to win both to maintain the 2 seed. That's not a definite, but if they win both, I think they do maintain the 2 seed. If they lose one, then it's up for grabs. So there's a bucket there by number
1, I believe,
yep.
Right?
Yep. So
Ryder
the
Durkee.
Rebels do have something to play for here these last 3 games. And it looks like most likely they will play Saturday, February 15th, the first playoff game. Don't know the time or the opponent yet. Good look.
Yeah, just a little late on that pass, but. And Danny, that was Trenton Haskell for Buckfield that had 13 threes earlier in the week.
Haskell, yeah.
Scored 49 points. You know, a lot of people don't realize it's very difficult to score 20 points in a high school game. You know, you see it quite a bit in the NBA, but the NBA plays 48-minute games. High school basketball games are 32 minutes, so you're really working hard to score 20, 25 points. So when you see somebody score 54 or 49, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and at the varsity level, I know probably the most recent 1,000-point scorer, Jarrett Bean. Don't know if he had some games like that, but I remember watching Sean Cadigan have a few 49, 50-point games back when he was playing. So. Yep.
And you saw Marshall grab the board on that free throw. He did a good job of keeping it up there and putting it back up. It obviously didn't fall for him, but I'm glad to see that. We've talked about some of these big guys bringing the ball down low. We never want to see that. That's a good block.
D there by Marshall and Brody. heading into the basket.
So that would have been a pass to himself, but I believe one of the Islesboro players touched that. So when Hedden grabbed it, it was not illegal.
So the Rebels with like we said, an away game Wednesday. That's a big game. That's Karabek, who's a good team. The Rebels beat them by double figures. That's Brody for 3. The Rebels beat them by double figures earlier this week, but it's expected to be a close game in their home court. So Andy, what's this last quarter and a half? What's Coach Kimball trying to get the Rebels to do in preparation for that game?
Well, some of it we probably won't see. I'm sure he's going to want to pressure them. That's what they had success with. Obviously, given the score of this game, I don't think he'll be doing that. So he'll probably want them to work on their half-court offense and work on their half-court defense. Just because, again, you don't want to be pressing when you're up this many. And who knows, maybe he's got some inbound plays that they want to go through. That's a good time to work on those things. We know the Rebels had a lot of success with that press. So, but again, that's probably not the time to work on it right here.
Billings and Cooper Morgan checking in, and Elliot Norton waiting to come in from Marshall here. He'll come in if he makes it. He doesn't, so he'll stay on the floor till the next whistle. Eagles launch a 3, Marshall with the board. Rebels have a pretty good size advantage this game, so they've been able to pretty much do whatever they want underneath.
That's a good look. He's shoot that.
Hedden gets the shooter's roll.
I think he was surprised that that went in, Danny, if it was caught in his face.
Yeah, those are the ones you like to have. We had Riley's father, Pete, join us in the girls' game for a few minutes.
Sounds like he's going to be making it to Sunday night basketball at some point here.
Well, he says he will, so we'll see. We put the pressure on him. There's a bucket by number 10 for the Eagles. That is Finley Conover.
He's got 4 points so far tonight, so he's their leading scorer.
That's Cooper for 3.
A little off to the left.
Yeah, Kellogg can't quite get it. They might have to get Johnny Marshall. I don't know. Kellogg says I'll get it.
I think he heard you.
And Marshall will check out here for the Rebels. So yeah, Rebels with 2 starters on the floor, but still pretty much playing their main rotation. All of these players will see minutes in the playoffs that they have in the game now.
Yeah, and there's at least usually a week or so between playoffs and the end of the season. So you don't want to rest the guys too much because you don't want them rusty, and it's tough. I mean, some people always saying, well, why are any of the starters on the floor right now with this lead? But
that's number 24, Mason Ranlett. And yeah, I think. So we just said that they play the 15th, and the last game is Tuesday, so it's a solid week and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll try to get a scrimmage or something in between. They may.
So if you're Telstar, you've got to kind of keep your players, so some of them out there to stay in game shape. And the other thing is they're all kids. They all want to play. It's not nobody out here is a professional. So no varsity starter wants to sit 3/4 of the game just because you get a big lead in the first quarter.
And like you say, realistically, in a 32-minute game, a high school kid that's in shape can play the whole game if needed.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of times, the bench is great to have because if you're full court pressing, maybe that's a little different. You may need a breather.
Nice hustle there by, is that
Billings?
Billings over there?
Heads a deep 3.
That's good.
Falls. But yeah, realistically, the minutes are just not an issue at this level typically. So good to see both teams a little scoring flurry here to start the second half. First half was a little bit lackluster.
I think I heard a slap there, but no call. There's a foul. It's going to be 14. Lewis Outbridge, excuse me, going to the line. And that falls on Elliot Norton, I believe.
53-8 here, Rebels on top. Minute and a half to play in the third. Last home game of the year for the Rebels. Still a decent crowd despite the early start.
It's definitely tough to make these, and I heard you guys talking about the trek that Islesboro has in here, and you got to make your ferry.
Yeah.
You miss the ferry, you're stuck for a while.
Kellogg with the rebound, pitches ahead to Hedden. Hedden looking to push, has Norton in the corner. Good take. And he'll get the roll. Hedden now in double figures. He has 11.
And Telstar still half-court man, picking him up out at half-court.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Thurlow a little bit because he went in and worked with the Rebels on the 1-3-1. And he said he thought Coach Kimball might be saving that for a playoff game. He might pull it out second half to try to surprise a team.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they do that.
Well, it's good to be able to go back and forth and to have that in your toolbox. I mean, you know, we've talked about it in the past. You know, coaches. We watched it. I think it was Friday night last week, where the coaches kind of were back and forth. You know, coach calls a timeout. The team makes an adjustment. That team goes on a run. So if you're a coach, it's nice to have that. You can tell the guys coming out of the timeout, hey, when we come out, we're going to be in a 1-3-1 to start, and then we're only going to do it this one time, and then we're going back into the half court or the full court man or vice versa. It just confuses the other team a little bit.
Hayden checks the clock. He might see about getting one. We'll see. That'd be something to work on, I think. Use these last 20 seconds work the ball, get a good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, since there is no shot clock, I heard you talking about that earlier, so you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, and if you're looking for something to practice, that's something that could become big in a playoff game, limiting the possessions for the other team.
You know what they say, Danny? You can't score if you don't have the ball.
That's right. Yeah, Billings gonna get called for the carry. I didn't see it, but.
Well, out there in the middle of the court, I suppose it was probably easy for the official to see it, but.
That's official. I think that's Randy Eastman, I think his name is. He's one of the head of officials for the Umpire Association. He's been around a while. That's a three.
Deep shot.
Hedden's gonna get a look here. Got it off. So after 3 quarters, Rebels ahead 55-8. We're live here on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11 and YouTube. I'm Danny Whitney, joined in the second half here by Andy Whitney. Brooks Morton's on the camera, Josh Morton behind the scenes, and Jewel Clark's still around somewhere, I think, but she did the first game on the camera.
She's the PR person.
Yeah, she's working PR, so.
Well, when we get another microphone, we'll have to go to her in the crowd.
Yeah,
you know,
well, that
maybe do some interviews.
We may not get back, but but we'll do it. So maybe we can take a second here and get Brooks to scan up to those sponsors again. Thank you to all those businesses who help support the Boosters programs here at Telstar. In 1 quarter to play here, Andy. What's Islesboro's message and what's Coach Kimball's message?
Well, I think Islesboro is just going to pick some things, work on one possession at a time. You know, we talk about it a lot with the girls' games. You know, maybe win the quarter. That's a reasonable thing. They're not going to win the game at this point, but they could win the quarter. And then if you're Telstar, you're prepping for the playoffs, and it kind of stinks. You don't want to obviously rub it in, but Telstar has to, at this point, kind of turn their attention, not completely away from this game, but they've got to look at Carrabeck and what they need to do to beat Carrabeck next week, and then you're prepping for your run in Augusta. So
the Rebels are going to stick with 3 starters, 2 core bench members. So still not going to the bench too deep so far.
Yeah, like I said, we'll probably see it in a few minutes. But again, Coach Kimball's he's playing. The Rebels are not here to just win a game. They're here to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, Coach Thurlow was saying if the Rebels hold the 2 seed, he thinks that might be the highest seed that Telstar basketball's ever had heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. See, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, that was an odd.
He was screening nobody. I'm not sure.
Turnover. Hedden with the ball, looking to push.
nice little dump
Norton
pass
with
there.
the
Nice
fake
move.
to the basket. Norton's first bucket of the game. He had a nice game against the Wisconsin Wolverines on senior night. 12 points.
Coming up a little sore after that one. He hit the floor hard. I think he hit the side of the hip, and it's almost like hitting your funny bone for the legs.
That's a three-pointer by number 1 for the Eagles, Ryder Dirk.
Yeah, he's got 5 points. He's now their leading scorer.
Yeah. Billings to the basket. Yeah, they're letting him play a little bit.
We'll see.
Conover with the ball, pitches ahead to Dirk.
So this would be the last game of the year that we get to do. Goes by quick. It doesn't seem. Maybe they should add more games to the schedule next year.
Not sure that's a battle you'll win with the players might be up for it, but the coaches and the administration, I'm not sure they would be in favor of
Maybe
it.
not. But we can always advocate for it.
Was that, who had that basket? Was that Billings? Or was that Norton?
Which,
Last two by the Rebels.
well, Norton had one where he went down hard underneath. And then I'll be honest with you.
I think it was Billings. Billings is going to get it. So Billings has 4 points with an asterisk. So he has 6 that I have record of, but 4 of them have an asterisk next to him. So.
Well, he plays hard defense, so maybe he deserves them even if he didn't get them.
No. That's why it's good that our scoring is only unofficial.
Well, and you get what you pay for this broadcast, so that's 5. Deep 3, no good.
Be Rebel ball here, 59-11. Marshall's going to check back into the game for Kellogg.
You know, Islesboro's had some, their shots, they don't seem to have a lot of outside shooting. Their shots are hard to try to describe that. So that might be something that they could work on the touch, getting that nice backspin like we see Riley have. He didn't get the roll there, but he does sometimes.
They're going to get Brody for foul. I don't know about that one. That's a tough one. He thought he just took the ball away from him and the kid foul, but that's all right.
I'm not sure he even felt it. He had quite a bit of size advantage on the Islesboro player there. So that bucket won't count.
Now I've got Brody with 18 on the night, leading scorer for the Rebels.
And
Pray up defensively.
I don't have 2. Do we know who 2 is, Danny, for Islesboro?
We don't.
So we apologize but we don't know who 2 is. So
It's not on our roster. He's played some minutes though. I mean, they only have 7 kids, so heading with the up fake, that's a travel.
One extra step there. Yeah, a little extra step.
This is Evan Parsons checking into the game.
We probably won't see Riley or Kellogg back in the game, but you never know.
Dirk with the ball up top.
Well, they're
Screened by Renlet.
You know, Islesboro's run is a fairly simple offense. They're kind of having somebody come up and screen at the top, and then their wings are swapping. It's a kind of a form of a motion offense, I guess.
Cooper checking in for Brody. Prey going to run the point with heading out. There's Parsons. Get Dupre in the corner.
What's Telstar running for an offense? Same thing, similar thing?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're Islesboro's, I think, in a 2-3. So they're working on the zone. They're trying to get the ball in and out, trying to get into Marshall, who's coming to the high post. And Coach Thurl and I were talking about in the first half. The Rebels get their best looks.
Nice move.
Good move.
I would like to see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the Rebels get their best looks when they move it in and out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see him shoot that with his left hand, so maybe if he's watching this game later on, left hand, he can get away with it here because he's got the size advantage, but you know, you get a team with equal size and they might block that.
But he's also done a much better job going straight to the hoop. And
yes.
Coach Serlo kind of mentioned that too. We've talked about it, but Coach Serlo had noticed it too, that that his strength is when he goes straight up. So, is that timeout by the Eagles? Did you say?
Yes, it looked like they were taking a full timeout.
So yeah, this will be our final broadcast of the year. We anticipate being back next December, I suppose.
Oh, they could fire us.
The season. Well, I don't mean us. I mean Western Hills Access Television. Be back. We have contracts to negotiate, and there's a long ways to go before we get back in the booth. But
I mean, I'm advocating for a 30% raise.
yeah, I'd say at least. So,
but it is 30% of 0 is not going to help us very much.
that's true. The Eagles with the ball on the sideline. They've quadrupled their scoring effort in the first half. And I don't mean to be sarcastic about that. It's just fact.
Well, yeah, it is, and I'm sure that it's stressful for them. Frustrating. It's a long trip. You guys talked a lot about that. And, it's certainly a long trip for them. So, but it sounds like you were mentioning maybe some of their players are injured, and
that's what it looks like. And you know, the girls got the win out of it at least. So
that's a lazy
for them.
pass.
So Parsons, Dupre.
Yeah, the Rebels got lucky there.
Yeah, and if I'm coach, to be honest, if I'm Coach Kimball now, I'm putting subs in. The starters are just kind of they're developing bad habits, in my opinion. No, I'm serious.
No, I agree.
I think it's time that you just get the subs in, because you don't want to develop bad habits. And what really are they working on? Just passing the ball around the outside like that.
Right.
So.
I'm getting a message from the superintendent of SAD 44 who wants to double our pay.
That's great.
So
Marshall with the board.
We've
We're gonna see, and here's those subs we talked about coming.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bet Coach Kimball saw exactly what you were talking about. Dupre usually doesn't make those kind of passes.
There's Marshall again, easy bucket. He'll get the foul. So yeah, I just think at this point,
So I think, Dan, for what we're going to have to work on is we just have to get a number in there in our contract. You know, even if it's like $1, and then if we can double it after that, we'll be making headway in that.
That's true. Doherty and Dupuy going to check in.
Although I will say, since we don't do the majority of the work, Brooks and Josh and Jewel do the majority of the work, they probably should be getting paid themselves first.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But we can advocate for them in their negotiations.
Marshall with the old-fashioned three-point play. Speaking of old-fashioned, in the first half, we saw Dupuy make an attempt at over-the-backboard shot.
Really?
The corner of the backboard down on this end. He didn't make it, but it almost fell.
Well, I heard Coach Thurlow make the Larry Bird reference, and I've seen that highlight many times over the years, so I know exactly which shot he's talking about.
Oh, good look.
Wide open.
Marshall's getting up there and scoring 4. He's got 14 now.
That's good for him, and he's going to be someone they're going to have to lean on a lot, I think, next year. I think he's a junior, right, Danny?
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that 10? I believe that was Finley Conover with that bucket.
Yeah.
There was kind of a crowd down there. I couldn't see.
That'll be number 1. Dirk cleans it up.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see the officials call a goaltending on that. You're not supposed to move the backboard, and that him slapping the backboard absolutely affected that shot.
Dupuy.
Get some offense out of Islesboro after that timeout, so I'm sure that maybe they've made, well, I just jinxed them there.
Parsons with the steal. His first bucket of the game. And he is a
Telstar's got to
junior.
get back.
So we expect him to see some minutes next year. That's number 12. No, number 10.
Finley Conover. He's now the leading scorer with 8 for Islesboro.
Cooper Morgan to the basket. And outside of Connor, Andy, this lineup here is almost a preview of next year's team, I think.
Yeah.
You got Cooper, you got Marshall, Dupuy.
Rebels are being a little lazy on defense there.
Coach Thurlow and I were talking, I'd expect to see Doherty maybe even in the starting lineup next year, but if not, getting significant minutes.
And what grade is he?
He's just a freshman.
Yeah, so that It's good to have that youth there, because.
And then the rest of them, well, I think Cooper's only a sophomore.
So the Rebels should have a decent future here, I think. That's number 2. And we don't have a name for number 2 on our score sheet here, but.
Good to see the Eagles playing hard. It's 69-19. We'll see if that ends up being our final. 20 seconds to play here. Marshall gonna dribble it out. That will be the final, barring something strange. So again, the Rebels will play. Let the buzzer sound here. We believe the Rebels, well, first off, the Rebels will play Monday at Carrabeck, and then they will play Tuesday or Wednesday at Vinyl Haven for the final 2 regular season games. And then we are fairly certain that they're going to end up playing on February 15th, Saturday, of vacation week, for the first round of the playoffs. We don't know who they'll play or what seed they'll be, but we believe they will play that day. Scoring for tonight, Andy?
Yeah, so scoring for the Islesboro Eagles, Mason Randlett with 2 points, Finley Conover with 8 points, Ryder Durkee with 7 points, Eli, and then number 2 with 2 points. We don't have a name for him.
And for the Rebels, unofficially, Riley Hedden with 11, Connor Dupre with 3, Cooper Morgan with 5, Brody Morgan with 18, leading scorer, Elliot Norton with 2, Evan Parsons with 2, Johnny Marshall with 14, Reggie Billings with 6, and Seth Dupuis with 5. And again, thank you to everybody who joined us here on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11, and YouTube. This is our final broadcast for the season. We expect to be back next year for the 25-26 season.
Pending negotiations.
Pending negotiations, of course. But again, thank you to Brooks and Josh and Jewel, who do all the work in the background. And we appreciate everybody listening, and we'll see you next season.